Here we are on Block 1 for Operation Chimera. This is the first mission in the Block of Nations, which is the Germans and Japanese. This mission is pretty straightforward. We need to do 6,000 damage to the enemy, and we need to be in the top 3 XP on our team. Not in the entire game, but on our team. That tends to be a little easier to do if you lose, but it's certainly... if you have a great game, 6,000 damage would be a great game. There's a good chance you're going to get it. But I'm going to show you how you're not going to get it, because I'm going to get the primary and not the secondary here. So the tank that I've chosen to use is Tier 10 TD, the Grill. I know this tank has been nerfed, but I still think it's an amazing tank. I think the biggest impact from the nerf is the reverse speed. And there's ways that you can overcome that. Now, this is actually a great map and great situation for me to get this mission done. So this corridor tends to have the heavies and largely the bulk of the tanks on this map, and I'm on the proper side. In my opinion, it's easier to be a TD on this side than it is on the south side. So if you can see, I'm positioned up against this rock here, and I'm positioned in a way that when I want to get cover, I move forward and not having to reverse into cover. This plays to the fact that this tank got nerfed pretty hard in terms of reverse speed. Like I said, well deserved. But moving forward is the way that I'm going to get into cover here to mitigate the reverse speed, which is complete crap. If you have to reverse in this tank to get cover, you're in trouble. So I'm just going to pick on these guys moving up this lane. The biggest threat to me, of course, is Artie, and you saw in the beginning when I took my very first shot, I actually ran, anticipating that Artie would be focusing me as a lightly armored Tier 10, but they decided to leave me alone for this match, which really enabled me to sit back here and just snipe these tanks. Although they've pushed up far enough that these tanks are well within range of spotting me, so you see I get spotted every time I take a shot here. So at any time, one of these tanks can just pre-fire that bush, or Artie can just start to focus. But it's still a great position for me. I've got the hard cover. There's a lot of tanks in front of me to do damage. You can see I'm already over 2,000 damage. Which means I'm almost halfway done with the mission itself, and I just need to patiently wait for the right tanks to pop up in front of me. Obviously, this VK has pretty decent armor, but he misangled his tank there, probably focusing on somebody else. So I was able to put one in the lower plate. The biggest threat is the Tier 10 Polish tank. Has really amazing armor. And the what you're going to see there, that looked like a pretty clean shot, but it clearly hit the upper plate and not the lower front plate. And even on the lower front plate, it's pretty amazing on that tank, so no guarantee that you're going to pen. He gives me the side of his turret there, so that was an easy pen. But he also has the alpha to really hurt me. I think he can two-shot me if he gets a high roll each time. So it's definitely a threat to me in terms of taking me out of this game quick. So again, I'm racking up the damage. I'm over 4,000 damage already. There's still a lot of tanks left, so I'm feeling confident in terms of getting this mission done. And I'm just going to pick on the tanks that I think I can get the damage. Now, if you are at risk of not getting XP, and you need the XP over the damage, focus on getting kills. The damage is important, but those kills are really going to rack up the XP. So you see, I'm pretty close to knocking this out in terms of the damage, and I'm supremely confident. I get full health. In fact, I'm so confident that here in a second I'm going to end up pushing up to get that last shot in and make what I think is a pretty critical error here. I highly recommend you don't do this. given the amount of damage I was doing and the fact that I already had 2 kills, I was pretty sure I was going to be top XP on the team, or at least in the top 3, which I wasn't, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So I decided I would just go up and get my my damage, and again, that lower plate of that 60 TP just gets in my way. It's such a strong lower plate. So I almost suicide there to do that. Lose half my health in the process, don't get my damage, don't complete the mission. So that was definitely a judgment error on my part. So I'm going to try to be a little more patient. There's an STRV down there, just firing off shots, so I'm going to let him do his thing and just let the tanks come to me at this point. Strangely enough, Artie still hasn't fired at me, which is quite unusual because I'm used to just, getting focused down by Artie. Here, I'm going to trade the damage for the HP. He could have easily killed me there. He low rolled. I lived. We would have traded shots, and even if I had died there, I would have gotten my shot in. But luckily, he didn't kill me, and he left me a few HP points to continue on. But at this point, the primary is complete, so I'm not really concerned about the mission, so to speak. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I have 6k damage. I should be top on the team. It's not like we're really steamrolling this team, given the amount of damage that I've output and the fact that I've got 2 kills. I thought I was confident, but if you think back to most of the damage that I did, it was tier 8 tanks, and that really has an impact on XP as a tier 10 tank. And this is one of the fundamental reasons why I didn't complete this with honors. So I'm going to try to sneak in a kill here on this lore, get that shot in, and at this point, the match is basically over. We're killing their Artie right now. There's 2 tanks left. One is low health. If I had thought this through, I probably could have loaded HE here to kill this 60 TP. But I was hoping to get a shot on that STRV because he was giving me his side, but I couldn't get down there in time. And this is where it just ends for me. I bounce my shot on this 60 TP. He gets the last 11 HP. But this is a great example of why the map conditions are so important. I got my 6,000 damage, but I did not complete this with honors, strangely enough. I did not get enough XP to be top 3 in the team. And when you look at the details, you can see there was a couple guys that really output damage. There's a couple tier 8s that put a lot of work in. They probably got spotting. They definitely got kills. And if you're killing higher tier tanks and lower tier tanks, that's going to rack up the XP. So even though I had a monster game in terms of 3 kills, 6,000 damage, it didn't push me over the edge. So if you want to get this done with honors, highly recommend that you enable grand battles to give you a better chance of getting in all tier 10 matches. Or if you have the opportunity, focus on the tier 10s or the tier 9s. Grab those kills for the XP boost, particularly on the tier 10s and tier 9s again. If you're doing this in a tier 10, which I really recommend you do, pick a high alpha TD to get this done. And try to focus most of your energy on the higher tier tanks if you want to complete this with honors. This is a mission that I'll go back to, but I'm not terribly concerned. I'm just going to move on with the block series, and we'll get honors at a later point. Hope this helps, guys.